Here are three things that you can do to become a better friend. I think this is an important thing to talk about because I find, especially living in a big city, that a lot of people find themselves that they're pretty lonely. And it's tough and it's sad to see because you'd think, surrounded by many people, we'd have better relationships or more opportunity for really great relationships. And that tends not to be the case. And I'm guilty of this, and you probably are too, where you meet somebody new and they're great. They have, you have a lot in common and you have a lot that you want to share with them and start doing with them. Or maybe it's networking with somebody that is somewhere you want to be, somewhere that you can see yourself grow into, and that's exciting for you. That's something that you want, but you are lacking some sort of connection that is either something that you're not doing or they're not doing, or there's no mutual doing of said thing. So, something that I have learned in the probably this last year, especially like being in a relationship and meeting really great people in my life, and being really lucky to have really great people in my life throughout it, whether I have taken that for granted or not, is I've learned how to be a better friend. And I'm just going to tell you the three things that I think are the most important things that I've learned this year. The first is being honest. I like everybody can say be honest is like, the most important thing that you want in any friend, any good loyal friend, any trait you can think of, you think of honesty is something that needs to be almost a standard. But a lot of times honesty is something that it's easy to do when the circumstances aren't high. And honesty is not easy to do when it means getting in a hard conversation. And that's when it really counts. So being honest to talk to the people around you, the people that you care about, the people that you love, and telling them when things are not right, or you're not feeling well, or you feel that there's some lack of connection, or whatever it might be. You have to have the honesty, but also the courage to express these things, no matter how that would make somebody feel, no matter how that makes you feel, no matter how scary that is. You must be honest about your feelings and be real with people so that it can show not only that you're prepared to be vulnerable with these persons and this person, and that you can become a better friend, but because it saves you a lot of heartache later on. And there's no point withholding any information or lying or doing anything like that, because it's only just going to dig your own grave. And it's probably one of my favorite quotes in Matthew McConaughey's book Green Lights. But this is something that I just like. I love to live by, and it's an honest man's pillow is his peace of mind, and that can be truer words. So be honest, have those tough conversations, and really show people you care. And even though it might hurt some feelings, might ruffle some feathers, it's gonna be worth it, and it's gonna make your connection stronger. The second thing that I think is of utmost importance, which is kind of, wasting words there. But the second thing that I think that you need to start doing is become a better listener. And everything that I'm saying here is just learned from experience. It's not that like we all know we need to be better listeners, but we love to jump into conversations and say our piece and think that our advice is important or helpful. But really, whenever we listen to other people, yes, we take little tidbits out that might be useful, but they're not really what gets someone to change a behavior or an action, or wants people to seek advice. People want to be heard. People want to be listened to. And when we interrupt people, when we give our 2 cents and glaze over the fact that they just said a bunch of stuff, or they got out of their shell and wanted to be vulnerable with you, and you just brought it onto yourself, is not the way to make that connection stronger or to build your relationships. You need to listen with no intention of saying anything, of no response, but just listening, hearing them out, putting yourselves in their shoes. And you do not have to offer advice every time somebody comes to you with any questions or anything, or you just need to listen. And the third thing is that you have to check in on everybody and do it consistently. This is something that goes for everything: friends, family, networks, business, whatever it might be, is that you need to really check in on how everybody's doing. And make a point to do it. This year I have thought about people, and I will, and when I think about people, like when I just get reminded, like I'll be reminded of like a childhood friend when I, put my rollerblades on, and I'll be like, damn, like I wonder how they're doing. And this year I really started just doing that. I started messaging my friends and saying, like, people I haven't talked to in 5, 10 years, saying, hey, I hope everything's good. I was just rollerblading, and it just reminded me of when we were kids and how much I miss that. And then that just like opens up a new conversation, or it doesn't. But it also, 9 times out of 10, it seems like they wanted you to message them, or that they were thinking about you too. The world has a crazy way of working, and when you check in on other people, a lot of times they think about doing that themselves, but they didn't take that initiative. So you need to be the person that takes that initiative to check in on people, especially when you know they're not doing well. If they're going through a breakup, if they're going through death in a family or of a loved one, then you need to check in, and you need to check in often, because a lot of times we can forget about these things. We can just let them go, and we push them to the side because life does get busy, of course. So make a point, put it in your phone, say, hey, I want to email this person, I want to text this person, say, hey, how they doing? Because just going so far and saying, hey, how you doing, and then getting like, that classic not much, you not much, is checking in. And if you want to bring the conversation a little bit more deeper, then ask the right questions, and you know what the questions are. So with these three things, I think your relationships will just become so much more powerful, and are three of the most important things that I learned this year, and I plan to take on for every year and every day I live. So anyways, with that, always remember to rep the set, and good luck out there.